Shalom, everybody, and welcome back to Insights in the Parsha of the week, Parshat Vayishlach. In particular, with this big kindness of Hashem, that it's over a year. I can't believe it myself that we're able to connect the majority of the Parshas of the week with this lesson in Likutey Moharan, lesson 24. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm always amazed how Hashem opens the doors. But in many cases, Rebbe Nachman, in his work Likutey Halachot, has already opened the way for us and brought many insights in several of the parshas of the week, including this week, Parshat Vayishlach. So without further ado, let's take a look at what Rebbe Nachman brings on the parsha. Rebbe Nachman goes into the wrestling battle between the angel of Esav and Yaakov Avinu. When Yaakov Avinu is fleeing, is now trying to save his family from the upcoming battle and attack and the approaching camp of Esav and his 400 men. Right? So also it says while they're crossing over a river, so Yaakov went back to get something that was missing, pachim ktanim, and that's when this angel wrestled with him. Okay, and it says, the pasuk reads, it says chapter 32 verse 25, Vayivater Yaakov levado Vayavek ish imo ad alot hashachar. So Yaakov was left behind alone, and a man, right, Rashi says an angel, was wrestling him to bring him down, and due to the wrestling movements of both of them, a lot of dust began to form from their movement on the ground. It caused a lot of avak, and the Midrash says it went up and up and up and up and up. Okay. And to show how much they were wrestling until the dawn, until the morning sunrise, or before that. So the pasuk is telling us that there was a lot of avak. So now you understand the idea. It just to indicate that it was a real battle. It was a real. Yaakov was so strong, he's able to fight against an angel. Okay, so on the pshat level, it's being illustrated by all the dust accumulated from their movements on the earth. Rebbe Nachman points out something amazing. What was the angel of Esav trying to do? He was trying to get Yaakov covered with this avak. In other words, the Torah is telling us that they produced a lot of dust in the air from the movement, is to teach a specific point that the angel wanted to accomplish. The avak, Rebbe Nachman writes, is associated with depression and lethargy. Because when a person is depressed and sad and he doesn't move around, so it's as if dust is accumulating. The accumulation of dust indicates someone or something that's just stagnant and dead and miserable and doesn't want to do anything in life. Movement connotes simcha. When a person is happy, they do things. They go around and doing things. They're happy and they're living life and they appreciate it and they feel good about it. So they do things. Whereas a person who's sad and depressed, he lies down in bed, sits in front of his TV or watches his Wi-Fi, whatever, and he just accumulates dust. That's the expression of accumulating dust with no movement, okay? So Rav Nachman writes that Esav's angel, the ministering angel of Esav, wanted to overpower Yaakov with sadness and depression. And that's indicated in how the Parshah explains the battle. Vayavek ishimo adalot hashachar. That he was trying to fight with him, trying to bring over this avak on him. And the battle lasted all night. Night is the time of darkness until dawn, and that's the best time to try to get a person sad and depressed, when everything is dark and gloomy and negative. So that was the idea that the Torah is telling us until El Shachar. But the next verse says that he didn't succeed. The next verse reads, verse 26, Vayar ki lo yacholo, and the angel saw that he couldn't succeed in bringing Yaakov down. Why? Because Yaakov is the epitome of Simcha. Like a verse reads in Tehillim, Yagel Yaakov, Yismach Yisrael. Yaakov, delight, rejoice, and be happy, Yisrael. Yaakov Avinu has two names, Yaakov and Yisrael. And the pasuk is revealing that Yaakov was a master in knowing how to gear shift to different levels and attitudes of joy, but no depression. He was or Gila, Yagel Yaakov, or Simcha, Yismach Yisrael. Depending on the situations, Yaakov never fell into sadness and depression. as opposed to Yitzchak, where Yitzchak also is called Yitzchak, like Rashi pointed out, al shem tzchok, because of the extreme laughter. Tzchok is when there's too much joy, a lot of joy. Like, why is he called Yitzchak? Because when he was born, many barren women conceived, many sick people were healed. So a lot of Simcha was in the world. By the case of Yitzchak, that doesn't happen every day. It's once in a blue moon, a person, like Yitzchak's name, has those high times where there's a lot of joy, exceeding Simcha. But that can't be standard. It's like once in a blue moon, you can reconnect to it to remember those good times, but it can't be on a daily basis. Daily basis in managing Simcha management with the daily struggles, that's the domain, that's the work of Yaakov. That's why he has two names. Yagel Yaakov, Yismach Yisrael. That there are times when Yaakov, which connotes when a person is like at the ekev on the bottom, and yet the attitude of Yaakov, he knows how to delight and rejoice Gila when he's Yaakov, and all the more so when he comes back up. Yisrael means Rosh, when a person gets back on top. He's at the beginning, at the head of things, so he can have true Simcha also. So it's a balance, and that's only to be found by Yaakov. So going back, the angel saw that he can't infuse avak, dust of sadness and depression, of being stagnant and non-movement into Yaakov. So what did he do? Vayiga bechaf yerecho. So he decided to hit Yaakov in his sciatic nerve, in the cuff of his yerech, the vein, the edge, the side of his leg. Rav Nosson explains this connotes the low souls. Because since Yaakov is our forefather, we all come from Yaakov Avinu, all Jewish people. So what he did is on the construct of the physical body and the spiritual representation of Yaakov Avinu's body, the low souls, the people who are very low and close to the earth and not so spiritual, not so holy, they're compared to the legs. So the angel thought, I will attack those souls, those descendants of Yaakov who are the low life, so they're low people. I will infuse them with depression and try to bring them down. So that's the idea. Vateka kaf yarech Yaakov behaviko imo. Okay, and we know it's called the place where hit him. The verse reads further on. It's called Gid Hanasheh. The Gid Hanasheh is a sciatic nerve. It's called Nasheh because Nashtag means, Rashi brings a few explanations. One meaning that it jumped from its place. It thought the sciatic nerve was bumped out of its place. So too, the souls who are low, the Yetzara, the angel of Esav, who's representing the evil one, he tries to bring them into sadness. He tries to move them from the proper place, which should be Simcha. And like the sciatic nerve is called Gid Hanasheh, means it moved from its actual technical place where it's supposed to be, and now it's in the place where it shouldn't be. It was moved, that's why he was limping Yaakov. So too, he decided to hit those souls who are descended from Yaakov, who are the legs, the low lives, the people who are so far close to earthliness, that's why they're the legs, and to hit them there. But even so, the Parsha teaches later on that he was healed. That Yaakov Avinu was healed, meaning that even the low souls descended from Yaakov Avinu, who are so far from holiness and spirituality, if they choose to remain attached and connected to the true Tzaddikim, in particular Yaakov Avinu, and by extension, all true Tzaddikim of every generation, who are true extensions of Yaakov Avinu, so these people, even those who are referring to the sciatic nerve and the legs, they have hope to maintain Simcha on condition they attach themselves to these Tzaddikim. So we again see how the bottom theme of Esav and the exile is sadness. The whole reason why the enemies of the Jewish people want to harm the Jews is because they can't stand our Simcha, which has true meaning, true value, and it's eternal. Whether it's a jealousy or feeling empty, the nations who attack the Jews for no rational, no logical reasons, they're just people who are so sad of themselves, so they have to do away with other people. They're not happy. If they were happy, the people who are attacking the Jewish people, they wouldn't attack us. You're happy. You're happy with your portion. No, we're not happy. We're sad people. We're depressed, and we can't handle you guys are happy, so we're going to attack you guys. Okay? That's on the simple meaning. Rav Nosson explains that the main attack of the Galut exile is to throw the Jewish people into depression. Our secret of survival, our secret of success, is to hold on to the tzaddikim of the caliber of Yaakov Avinu. So this, Rav Nosson in a few lines explains this idea of this week's Parsha. of being saved from dust. So we should be zoche to be dust-free Jews, full of simcha, full of true joy, maintaining a balance of Yagel Yaakov, Yismach Yisrael, and always knowing how to be besimcha always. Shabbat Shalom.